In this chapter, we shall learn about different types of visualizations that can help us understand and interpret the data better. Let's continue with the previous scenario of you working as an analyst in a global superstore that delivers products to customers in US. Your sales head wants to know how the current business is performing and what the future sales would look like. As an analyst, you can answer this query by using two visualization techniques, namely standard dashboards and exploratory data analysis. Standard dashboards are basic standard reports that provide an understanding of the current business scenario and are published daily, weekly or monthly. Some examples of such dashboards include monthly revenue, top customers, top selling regions, etc. Exploratory data analysis or EDA, on the other hand, refers to the critical process of performing initial investigations on data to discover patterns, spot anomalies, test hypotheses and check assumptions with the help of summary statistics and graphical representations. Some examples of EDA include outlier detection, summary statistics and spread analysis. The first step to analyzing the data is by looking at simple aggregated numbers. So let's take a look at yearly sales. The yearly sales show a positive trend, which means there has been a rise in sales throughout the time period. Now, let's focus specifically on the sales data for the last 2 years, 2017 to 2018. Any sequence of measurement for the same variable over a time period is called time series. The sales data is one such example of time series, and a good way to understand them is through a line graph. In this graph, the vertical axis represents the sales data values and the horizontal axis shows time. The graph is indicative of how the trend changes over a period of time. The current graph shows an increasing trend overall, but there is a dip in sales for the month of February, which might indicate presence of seasonality. You can further look through the historical data to confirm the same. Looking at the historical graph, you can see that the same pattern, that is, monthly peaks and dips, is repeated every year. This is called seasonality and is defined as any predictable change or pattern in a time series that recurs or repeats over a one-year period. This is an important business observation and can help us leverage low and high selling months. Once you have an overall idea of the actual sales, you can further drill down to category-wise sales. Bar chart is the best way to represent this scenario as it covers both category and numeric variable. This bar chart gives us information about category-wise sales and profits earned. The profits are color-coded based on the degree of profit. Overall, the business shows good results everywhere. But we also want to identify the weak points that are bringing the sales down. Let's try looking at data from a different perspective, a product-wise breakdown. A product-wise breakdown covers categories and subcategories of the products across order dates. Here, furniture seems to be the worst performing category, with furniture table being the worst performing product throughout. Discount is another interesting feature that affects sales. It might be interesting to see if high discount is actually the reason for low profit. Looking at the bars, the furniture category shows some kind of relation between high discounts and lower profits. But a clear relationship between the two variables cannot be formed. Scatter plots can provide for better representation in such a case. Scatter plots or correlation plots are used to show how two variables are correlated. This depiction here highlights a slight negative correlation between discounts and profits, and thus suggests giving smaller discounts to increase profitability for the furniture category. A scatter plot with no discernible patterns means zero correlation. Here's how zero correlation looks like. Another interesting feature that affects the sales is the selling price of the product. You can check the trend lines to gauge its effect. Looking at this depiction, the prices are more or less constant for the last 2 years for all categories except for technology. But in order to get more clarity on how prices are distributed, you need to use a different type of visualization, either histogram or box plots. A box plot is a standardized way of displaying the distribution of data based on a 5-number summary. That is, minimum first quartile Q1, median third quartile or Q3, and maximum. It can tell you about your outliers and what their values are. It can also tell you if your data is symmetrical, how tightly your data is grouped, and if and how your data is skewed. Box plots take up very less space and are very convenient to view spreads of different categories. In this box plot, furniture and technology have the maximum spread and office supplies have a more consistent pricing. All the points below and above minimum and maximum are outliers. Cases of extreme SP can be studied separately, as current data only allows for identification of such points. However, this data is not sufficient to explain why we have extremely low or high prices. So, here's the final conclusion using exploratory data analysis. Overall sales figures look good. Seasonality can be leveraged to do better planning. Pricing strategy needs to be changed for furniture. Extreme pricing can be studied separately by asking the right questions to the sales department. With this, we come to the end of our series of analytics video. There are multiple courses available in Wisdom Wizard, which will be applicable for more deeper understanding. For basic understanding of probability and statistics or inferential statistics, just type statistics in the search option. We see that a wide variety of courses are there and you can choose according to your needs. Similarly, you can search machine learning if you are interested in learning more about that field. For dashboarding, we currently use Tableau, and Tableau has their own free training videos. It can be accessed from the official Tableau site. We are an industry with many moving parts: human resources, raw materials, capital investments and logistics, and a lot of data gets generated at every turn. Hope this training video helps to analyze this data and generate insights, thus paving paths towards data-based decision making.